All right, we are back with another pick'em video. Going to be talking NBA. We got 5 games, so definitely some value on the board. Some of the lines aren't just up because I think like the Celtics are coming off a back-to-back. I don't know if anyone else is, but a few lines aren't on the board just yet. But we're going to attack it from what we got. And there is a game starting in like 2 hours. It's the Cavs and the Nets. They're playing in France, if you didn't know. So I will have a play for that one. You're not going to have too much time to go over it, so I'm just going to do one play for that game. And then we'll talk about the other value for the later games. But if you're new to this channel, definitely go ahead and subscribe. We're almost at 6,000 subs, so can't thank you guys enough for that. And leave the video a like and comment anything down below. It just helps YouTube push the video out a little bit more. But before we get into like our video picks from last time and then our video picks from today, do you want to shout out Sleeper again, guys? If you're not on Sleeper, they have Wildcard Wednesday that happened yesterday, but this week they're doing like Wildcard Weekend. So they actually have plays up right now. Like it's like Taco Tuesday on PrizePicks, but on Sleeper. They already have 2 of the plays on Sleeper discounted. I think it's like Puka Nacua and CJ Stroud. So some fun players. Again, very similar to Taco Tuesday. It's just Wildcard Wednesday on Sleeper. So if the $500 deposit match isn't enough to get you there, it is Wildcard Wednesday weekend or whatever. So you'll have some discounts, and that is a weekly thing. So check out Sleeper. If you use my code, you'll get a 100% deposit match up to $500. Definitely take advantage of that. And while I'm on the train of thought there, check out Chalkboard. They have alternate lines. Check out Underdog. I love 3-mans on Underdog. They're 6x. So sorry for the little spiel, but do want to shout those guys out. It's highly advantageous to be on different platforms so you can line shop and get the best value. But we'll be doing it on PrizePicks again. I know you guys love PrizePicks. Let me know down below if you want me to, do videos on other platforms as well, if those are the ones that you mainly do. But let's quickly go over our video picks from last time. Ended up going 3 for 5, so 60% hit rate on the video picks. I always stress this enough. It's up to you guys if you want to completely tail this. If you want to, take my analysis and choose which ones you want to do, I think that might be a better way to do it. I'm not a YouTuber that gives 2 picks and celebrates when they hit 2-mans. It's just better value to do 5 and 6-man plays on PrizePicks, and I want to give you guys as much opportunity and value in these videos. So I'm going to give you guys 5 picks typically. If the board's really light, I'll give you less. But I just want to give you guys as many opportunities to pick and choose your favorite ones from the ones that I like on the day. But Tatum gets there, absolutely crushed, dominant game, 45-point game against Minnesota in overtime. Trey Jones's line was way too high. We called this one pretty well. And then Bruce Brown was definitely the biggest advocate of no Halliburton throughout the whole game. Like the Wizards game plan for no Halliburton rather than Halliburton just missing time or not being on the floor. So he crushed it. Aaron Nesmith started off the game super slow, ended up getting to like 12 points and rebounds by halftime. So it looked really good. And then his playing time kind of just dropped off a lot. Ended up only getting 13. So tough beat there. And then Maxey was the guy. Obviously tough to go under on superstars, but everything looked good. And he was pretty on track throughout the whole game to go under this, but ended up dunking all over my dreams pretty much. He drove through lane, slammed it with 2 hands over like 3 defenders. And that was the points to put him over. So, hats off to him. He had a great game. And I think they won that game too. So he stepped up without Embiid. And 3 for 5. We'll try to do better than that today. So jumping into the board, we do want to go over those Nets and Brooklyn picks, or not Nets and Cavs picks that I was talking about. I have one guy, Dorian Finney-Smith. He has a 0.5 steal. Okay, so we did have a 0.5 steals line. That was popping up with crazy value, like minus 150 value on pretty much every other book. So they took that off. That makes sense. But if that pops back up for some reason, 0.5 steals for Dorian Finney-Smith, he's been crushing that. He's hit it in like 80% of his last 20 games or something crazy. And the odds looked really good as well. But the next guy I want to talk about is Claxton. They had his fantasy score at 35.5, but then it went away and it's back up for 36.5. So let's talk about Nicholas Claxton today. I think he's going to have a great game, and I think he benefits because another big man is down in Brooklyn in Day'Ron Sharpe. So let's go and look at the Nets. Right here. The Nets without Day'Ron Sharpe. Nicholas Claxton, per 36 minutes, he's expected to have 32 or something today. If we can go ahead and look at the expected minutes, projected minutes, 32. Yeah, so right on the money, 32 minutes. So again, this is per 36. So adjust that a little bit. He's averaging 15.6 points, 15.6 points, 12.7 rebounds, and 3.1 blocks, and 2.5 steals. So that's a fantasy score of 44.3 per 36 minutes. So that's much higher than that 36 minutes per, or 36.5 fantasy line. That's what I liked. I think you could go a few different ways. Again, his blocks look really good to me. This is a team that gets blocked a whole lot. So I like his fantasy score. I did play it at 35.5. I'll just throw it in here at 36.5. I don't think it's a bad spot for him. It's a close spread. It's like a 4-point spread in this game. And again, they're playing, in a different country. Maybe that will boost them up a little bit. Play for those Paris fans. So 36.5 for Claxton. This is again more maybe of a personal play. He's been playing really well. I will show you the RotoWire projections real quick if I can find my tab. Yeah, right here we can find Cameron Johnson. Again, you won't have a ton of time to get this in. Looks like they're not showing his fantasy score. Maybe if I can try to find it. Fantasy score. Oh, it's because I looked up Cameron Johnson. Nicholas Claxton right here. So they are projecting over 39.52. That's a bit more in line with that, per 36 minutes. So it's still on the over projection. The hit rate's not as good as it was. Looks like 60% of his last 5, 40% of his last 10. So again, I want to give you guys the analysis. This looks really good at 35.5. But yeah, that's the way I'm going to attack the Nets and Cavs game. But let's move along. Again, you guys probably won't see that, or a lot of you won't see that. But let's go to our next one. It's going to be, let's go not alphabetical. Kyrie Irving. I'm fading Kyrie altogether today. I have a slip on Sleeper with his 37.5 points and assists. I'm going to go to his assists at 6.5. He's barely hit this at all. The biggest thing here is there's no Luka today. But even with no Luka, he doesn't typically hit this line. And he's going up against a Knicks team that is absolutely clicking. So they've been like destroying teams since they got OG and Anunoby. The vibes are good in New York. But let's take a look at Kyrie over on Outlier and see what he's been doing so far. And then we'll check out games without Luka Doncic as well. So again, I went under this 37.5 points and assists over on Sleeper. The odds looks like they've shifted a little bit. It was like a minus 110 value, so there was no reason for me to do that on PrizePicks when I might be able to get better odds over on a non-fixed payout system like Sleeper or Chalkboard. So 37.5, I took the under over here. Obviously, a lot of green, but with no Luka, obviously he can be the guy. He just doesn't typically hit that, and it's a tough defense. So let's go to 6.5 though on PrizePicks. Go under. Looks like we're getting a positive EV tag as well, so minus 140 value over here. And 80% of the last 20, obviously that's huge. In terms of 2023, it's 82% on the year that he's gone under this. And then without Luka, again, that's the biggest thing. It's 100%. So 2 of 2 games, he's got 5 assists against Portland and Memphis, so much easier matchups here than New York. But yeah, I'm really liking this spot. It's New York's a great defense altogether, but now that they have OG Anunoby the past 5 games, again, they've just been crushing teams. So this is a closer spread. I would probably bet on the Knicks to take the spread here. With no Luka, it's going to be Kyrie, Jaden Hardy getting a lot of the boost in usage. I bet Hardy gets a lot. Tim Hardaway Jr. too. So yeah, Jaden Hardy right there. So yeah, it's going to be a weird game, but the Knicks are cruising, and I like Kyrie under here. Let's go to RotoWire for that last data point. Oh, we actually got to go to OddsJam too. Here we go. There's that Cameron Johnson. There's Dorian Finney-Smith right here, 55.62. This is OddsJam, guys. This is how I find a lot of plays, especially when I'm just like, maybe I want to go to a game. I can see the best odds on PrizePicks or any of these other websites. So if you're interested in OddsJam, if you're interested in Outlier, this app that I'm using, or RotoWire, they all have free trials. OddsJam and Outlier have 7-day free trials. Just hit my link in the description. You can check them out. Obviously, you can see that they're very helpful. And just kind of shows you, hey, all these other sports books, you can see right here, minus 145, minus 150. If you're putting this into a 5 or 6 man, you're getting minus 119 value on PrizePicks. So you're getting it at a huge discount, which is why this line disappeared pretty quickly. But let's go to, what's his name? Kyrie Irving. Go to his under 6.5 assists. Go ahead and apply that. And I assume it's his best line, 52.75% chance to go under here. That's what they're giving it. Minus 132 on FanDuel, minus 140 on Pinnacle, so that's nice to see, and minus 140 on BetMGM. So definitely a decent amount of value here on a minus 119 individual line that we're getting on the fixed price on PrizePicks. DraftKings had this at minus 115, so that's something to think about as well. This is definitely a weird spot for him, but I wouldn't be surprised at all if this gets bumped down to 6.0, in which case you can take it on sleeper. But hopefully this isn't a Tyrese Maxey situation where I fade, another kind of superstar star player. But yeah, I like this under, and everything else is looking good. Last data point though, go to RotoWire. We can get out of this Dayron Sharp news. RotoWire, this is not the one. I'm all over the place. RotoWire, let's go to Kyrie Irving. He's not fantasy score. 6.5 assists. They're projecting 6.2. Again, the hit rate is ridiculously low. Last 10, last 5 hasn't hit any. But again, the biggest news here is no Luka. So will he get there? I don't think so. Will it be close? Probably. But yeah, Kyrie's gonna be our first play, other than the Claxton fantasy score line that I like. Let's keep it going though. Going to move to a later slate. Let's go to Dante DiVincenzo. I guess it's in the same game actually. 14.5 points and rebounds. This is the one that I like. His 2.5 threes is also a solid line, I think. But I'm going over here again after the OG Anunoby trade. No RJ Barrett in town. No Emmanuel Quickly in town. Dante has been playing, very steady minutes throughout the year, but it is even a little bit more consistent now. Let's go to his points and rebounds, 14.5. He's, again, hit this very consistently, especially after this trade. So this trade happened on the 31st, I believe, right before the new year. What am I doing? Last 20. I want last 5. This isn't the right line. There we go. Points and rebounds, sorry. Hit it in 5 of 5. So it's been very close, but he's been consistently getting this line, very consistent in his scoring, in his rebounding, whatever it would be. And it's a great matchup going against Dallas. And without Luka, I'd have to expect this is even a little bit better. To shooting guards, I'm not sure. It gets even better. So again, I don't look particularly at the position typically, especially for like a shooting guard / small forward / point guard guy. It can bounce around a lot, but the overall looks great. 5 of 5 again. Will he get extended run if these guys go up a little bit potentially? But you can see the scores of these games. This is like a 30-point blowout. This is like a 20-point blowout, albeit this is Portland and Washington, but this is Philly, a 30-point blowout. This is Chicago, not horrible, 16-point game. And then this is Minnesota, where they were up big against the Timberwolves, but ended up only winning by 6. But yeah, he's been doing well, very consistent. I really like this line. I talked about that 3-pointers made line as well. Looks like that is maybe even a little bit better chance of in terms of odds. We'll check out OddsJam in a second. But 3 of 5 games, that's not 3 of 5. That's not bad. And his shooting, his attempts have definitely gone up by like 1.5 attempts since this trade has happened. So it's a small sample size, but I like Dante in this spot, and I think he's got a great matchup today. But let's go to OddsJam, see what Dante is looking like over here, seeing if we're getting the best line for him or if we're attacking value. So look at that, over threes is popping up, 53.27% chance to hit. Again, this is why I go over the plays. I'm going to be locking in the points and rebounds just because that's the one I was looking at mostly. But this threes line, this is probably something I'll probably play on a different slip as well. So great value, minus 140 on FanDuel, minus 132 pretty much everywhere else. We're definitely getting great value on this 2.5 threes. So that could be a different way to do this. But again, 14.5, I'll stay with my gut on this one. It's definitely not as good in terms of the odds. This is probably shifted around a little bit. But yeah, Dante DiVincenzo, 2.5 threes or 14.5 points. We'll see what RotoWire has to say. I might be switching it up as we go. But let's go to DiVincenzo. We got the prediction. So they're like the prediction that I'm liking. 14.5 points and rebounds. They're expecting 16.84. In terms of the 3-pointers made, they're also on the over here. So, I mean, these are pretty correlated. If he gets 3 or 4 threes, he should get his points and rebounds line because that would be, 9 or 12 points right there. So yeah, I like the spot we're in. We'll stick with it, and you can decide if you want to attack that 3-pointers line as well. So this is the first 3 plays. Let's keep it going. Get 2 more in for you guys. One of my favorite plays coming up. Let's go to Yusuf Nurkic. 11.5. Oh my gosh, got bumped. This happens all the time, so I'm not too concerned about it. I still like this play, honestly. This is another kind of personal play. It was one that I saw and was like, oh, this looks low. 11.5. Nurkic can get 11 rebounds any day of the week, 12 rebounds any day of the week. And I like this matchup against LA. So this is at 11.5. This is where the Discord got it. If you want to join the Discord, check out the link in the description. But they're at 12.0 now. That makes sense. Let's see if Underdog maybe has this at 11.5. I got to refresh this. If Underdog has this at 11.5, maybe you go ahead and attack it on Underdog. Again, the good thing about Underdog is, as I have no internet here and I have to stall, The good thing about underdog is you can do 3-mans and you get 6x rather than 3-mans are 5x on prize picks or honestly most other places. All right, that took forever, but it's also just the same line over on prize pick or on underdog. So 12.0, that makes sense to me. This I wouldn't be surprised if this gets bumped even a little bit more. But on sleeper, this is probably still 11.5. So check it out on sleeper. On chalkboard, this is probably 11.5. Check it out over there. But let's go to his line, kind of see why I like it. And it's really a lot to do with the matchup. And again, when you see 11.5 rebounds and assists for Nurkic, that seems like a great spot for me. So 75% of the games in the last 20, he's gone over this. So excellent hit score right there. 69% of the entire year. So not bad at all. And then you look at his matchup and you say, okay, that looks really good as well. 20 and 22nd in terms of rebounds and assists allowed for the Lakers. And the head-to-head, he's played very well against these guys. Had 12 back very early in the year. Had 16 back in 2020, in November. And then in December, he had 12 as well. So it's a good spot for him. He's done it in all three of these games. I do want to look quickly at games with all three of these guys, with Booker. I guess I can't really search him. With Booker, Beal, and Durant. This is Booker, Beal, and Durant. He's gone over this in 5 of 6 games. So I love this. It's in a great spot. Everything looks good to me. And the fact that it's going up makes a lot of sense to me as well. So again, they're showing it at 11.5. I'm sure it is on sleeper and chalkboard at 11.5. So that would be definitely a way to do that. But yeah, loving Nurkic in this spot. Let's go to Odds Jam. It's going to show us the updated odds. I wouldn't be surprised if it's saying under now just because other books have it at 11.5. But let's go to Nurkic. If it's still saying over, that's a great sign. 11.5 points on the over. So 12, yeah. So they are saying under, but again, it's about a 50-50 chance. So at 11.5, you're getting great value. Looks like FanDuel does have this at 12.5. This line is moving just like any line does throughout the day. These other books have it at 11.5. FanDuel's on minus money 11.5, so that's good to see as well. So yeah, this is minus money to go under. Plus money would be what we want to see, but plus 110 on these other two sites. That's great to see. Again, would not be surprised if this goes to 12.5. And you saw the hit rates; it's been incredible. So let's go to RotoWire for that last data point. See what Nurkic is looking like. So 12.0 rebounds and assists. They're still in the over. Again, RotoWire's got this at 16.3. So he's been crushing this line, especially with the big three of Booker, Beal, and Durant in there, and against the Lakers. So really liking this Nurkic spot. Probably my favorite play of the day, even after the bump. But I would highly recommend going to sleeper or chalkboard and putting that in at 11.5. And let's get our last play of the game or the day, and it's going to be Austin Reaves. Again, this is the same matchup, LA versus Phoenix, probably the game of the night. But I'm going to go to his 1.5 turnovers. Going to be going over here. His hit rate's been pretty solid on the year, again, especially against the Suns. So let's go to Reaves. Check him out real quick. This video is getting kind of long. I tend to talk a lot. But over 1.5 turnovers, we see 55% of the last 20. Not horrible. 69% of the entire year. That's good to see. In terms of his minutes, I feel like it's trending upwards a little bit, I want to say, especially these past few games. But yeah, loving them in this spot. In terms of injuries, don't think there's anything too crazy in terms of injuries. LeBron and AD will play. They're always game time decisions. And Gabe Vincent's been out forever. So if one of these other guys sits, it's probably just another boost in Reaves' minutes just a little bit. But the head-to-head looks good as well. Had 1, 2, 3. So if that trend continues, should have 4 in their 4th matchup this year. And they're also in all different months. So October, November, December, and now January. So he should have 4 tonight. Not really, but he could, and that'd be great for us. Minus 130 odds is great to see. But let's check out Odds Jam to kind of see exactly what these other books are saying about this line. Austin Reaves, go ahead and apply that. We're seeing rebounds and assists. So another line that's looking really good is rebounds and assists. If you think Austin Reaves is going to have a great game, I would go with this one. The only thing is I did check this one out. He hasn't hit this in any of the 3 matchups earlier this year. So I'm a big matchups guy. I'm a big odds guy as well. So if you see this and think, okay, if I'm betting on Austin Reaves, I want to go for the best percent chance to hit. I totally am okay with that. But again, I like the turnovers line. It's been pretty consistent on the year. His minutes have been going up recently. And yeah, I'm liking this spot. So 1.5 turnovers over. Let's go to PrizePicks, get that, or not PrizePicks. Let's go to RotoWire and get that last data point, and see what they're projecting on that 1.5 line. Austin Reaves. Prediction on the 1.5 line is slightly on the over. It's actually a lot. Oh, it's 2.34 they're projecting. So again, we only need 2. They're practically at 2.5 over here. So that's a pretty big boost in terms of percentage. That's a 56% boost in terms of percentage on their lines. So again, 1.5, they're projecting 2.3. That's a big boost. But we also want to see that rebounds and assist line 9.5. They're projecting 10.7. So again, both those lines look pretty good. The odds look great. The hit rate, particularly on the turnovers line, looks great as well. So yeah, those are going to be our 5 plays. So Claxton, this is kind of a personal play. I think he's going to have a great game. I loved it at 35.5 in terms of his fantasy score. At 36.5, it's not as good, I will say. But again, you only have about an hour to look at this. If you want to look at Dorian Finney-Smith, his line at 0.5 steals was ridiculous. If that comes back up for some reason, it won't. But just want to mention that I did get it in there. But yeah, Claxton at fantasy score, more of a personal play. But RotoWire's projections love that as well. Kyrie Irving under 6.5 assists. I like his under 37.5 going up against the Knicks as well. But Kyrie Irving just fading a superstar is tough, but he just hasn't been hitting this line even with Luka out. DiVincenzo over 14.5 points and rebounds. If you want to go for the 2.5 3-pointers line, I totally agree. That's a great line as well. But going with this one, just because that's the one I was researching and it still looks pretty good on altogether. Nurkic over 12.0 rebounds and assists. Again, we got this at 11.5 before the bump happened. If you want to take advantage of 11.5, again, this is probably my favorite play of the day. Everything looks good in terms of hit rate against the Lakers with all 3 of the superstars, Beal, Booker, and Durant. It's like 5 out of 6 games there, 3 out of 3 games against the Lakers. Projections are loving this as well. So I love this on PrizePicks still. But again, I like attacking value. 11.5 is a little bit easier to hit than 12. And then Austin Reaves, we just went over him. His turnover line looks pretty good all year. I think it's like a 70% hit rate on the year. And against Phoenix is just continuing to get one more each and every game. So those are our 5 plays. I do like to recap them. And again, I love giving you guys 5 plays. I give you as much value as I want. Sometimes these videos are a little bit longer, but hopefully it gives you like a deep dive into 5 solid plays that someone that bets every single day, likes. So I'm not going to hit 5 for 5s very often. It's just math. If I hit 5 for 5s very often, I'd be a millionaire. But I could start doing two video picks or whatever a lot of these other YouTubers do, and I just don't want to do that. I'd rather give you guys as many possible good plays as I like, and this is a slip that I've put in personally. So this 5-man, this is what I rod with. This is one of the plays that I'm doing today, and just want to give you guys as much value as possible. So if you appreciate that, definitely hit the like button, subscribe. It helps me out a lot. And again, we're almost at 6,000 subs. So hopefully we have a great day, some good games today, and we got one starting in like an hour. So we got early basketball today. But yeah, that will do it. I'll see you guys in the next video or in the Discord. Check out any of my links, Sleeper, Chalkboard, Underdog, all those good things. Peace out.